Silly Sally by Audrey Wood. Silly Sally went to town, walking backwards, upside down. On the way, she met a pig, a silly pig. They danced a jig. Silly Sally went to town, dancing backwards, upside down. On the way, she met a dog, a silly dog. They played leapfrog. Silly Sally went to town, leaping backwards, upside down. On the way, she met a loon, a silly loon. They sang a tune. Silly Sally went to town, singing backwards, upside down. On the way, she met a sheep, a silly sheep. They fell asleep. Now, how did Sally get to town, sleeping backwards, upside down? Along came Nettie Buttercup, walking forwards, right side up. He tickled the pig, who danced a jig. He tickled the dog, who played leapfrog. He tickled the loon, who sang a tune. He tickled the sheep, who fell asleep. He tickled Sally, who woke right up. She tickled Nettie Buttercup. And that's how Sally got to town. Walking backwards, upside down. Silly Sally by Audrey Wood. Went to town, walking backwards, upside down. On the way, she met a silly. They danced a jig. Went to town, dancing backwards, upside down. On the way, she met a silly. They played leapfrog. Went to town, leaping backwards, upside down. On the way, she met a silly. They sang a tune. Went to town, singing backwards, upside down. On the way, she met a silly. They fell asleep. Now, how did get to town, sleeping backwards, upside down? Along came, walking forwards, right side up. He tickled the who danced a jig. He tickled the who played leapfrog. He tickled the who sang a tune. He tickled the who fell asleep. He tickled who woke right up. She tickled and that's how got to town. Walking backwards, upside down. Hi, I'm Ellen Olson with Cornell Cooperative Extension Child Care Council. Today we're going to talk about adding music to your program with stories. Why should you add music to your program? Well, music helps children develop cognitive and thinking skills. They learn to follow directions. They link sounds to their source. They learn about cause and effect. They can distinguish different types of sounds. They apply knowledge and experience from previous things that they've heard. They learn problem solving, and they're learning about music. They also develop social skills by making friends, sharing and taking turns, playing with other children. They develop emotional skills, expressing creativity, expressing their emotions, and forming a sense of personal taste. They also learn and practice physical skills, large and fine motor skills, balance, becoming aware of what their bodies can do, and eye-hand coordination. Why did I add music to stories? Well, I was thinking about Peter and the Wolf. Peter and the Wolf is a story written in 1936 by Sergei Prokofiev. The narrator tells the story and the symphony illustrates it. Each character is illustrated by a different instrument. Peter is the violins and the string instruments. The bird is the flute. The duck is the oboe. The cat is the clarinet. The grandfather is the bassoon. The wolf is the French horns, and the hunters are the kettle drums. This was my first introduction to orchestra and the variety of instruments. But Peter and the Wolf is much too long for preschoolers, and the story is quite old and therefore may not be totally appropriate in today's world. So I thought, why not do something similar with stories and instruments we have in our program, or instruments from stuff we find around the house? The first thing to do is prepare. Pick a story, determine how many sounds you will need, make sure you have enough instruments for each child. Waiting is very hard. Then practice. Teach the children to play their character's sound when they are mentioned in the story. Do it again. The second time, don't say the character's name, just play the instrument. With older children, you could do it again, just playing the instruments in order without reading any words. Let the children tell the story. Not only will they be remembering, which is a cognitive skill, they will also be sequencing, which is something they'll need later on for math. Be patient. Children are going to have a hard time waiting for their turn, and they're going to be very excited. Let the children trade instruments and try different parts. See if they can narrate the story just from the sounds. Here are the instruments I used for this story. Just things I found around the house. If you want information on making the homemade harmonica, I have a sheet I can send you. For this story, Silly Sally was a slide whistle. Our silly pig was the kitchen tongs. Silly dog was a coffee can drum. Silly loon was the homemade harmonica. Silly sheep was serving spoons from the kitchen drawer. And Nettie Cup was jingle bells. Thank you so much. For more information or intensive technical assistance on this or any other topic, please call me, Ellen Olson, at 315-223-7850, extension 235, or send me an email, elp32@cornell.edu. Have a fun time.